In today's video, we will show what a standard cooling tower service visit should look like. Your first step will be to check the controller to make sure there are no immediate issues. Once you have confirmed there are no problems, you can collect your cooling tower sample. You also need to collect your makeup water sample before testing. Be sure to triple rinse your samples to avoid any contaminants. Once collected, you can set it aside for testing. Now let's take a look at cleaning up some of the probes and sensors on the manifold. Your first step will be to shut off the flow to the manifold using the ball valves. Slowly close both valves and release pressure using the sample nozzle. Always be sure to use a drain, a cup, or a bucket to avoid water on the floor. This particular system has a floor drain directly under the manifold. On every visit, you should ensure the flow sensor is clean of debris. You can test that it is working by simply sliding it up to make contact and see if the controller responds. Next, we will clean out the strainer basket. Note that not all manifolds will have a strainer. Be sure to use a cup or bucket to catch any water that may spill out when removing the strainer. Clean out the strainer cup and basket and then replace it back onto the manifold. Always remember to avoid over-tightening any sensors and connections on the manifold to avoid any cracks. Now we will move on to cleaning off the conductivity probe. It is important to use a soft cloth and wipe in a single direction when cleaning off the probe. If there is buildup that will not come off, you can use a Scotch-Brite pad or cleaning pad to remove. Again, wiping in the same direction. Once it has been properly cleaned, you can reattach it to the manifold and move on to any other probes or sensors that are present. Once everything has been inspected and cleaned, you can bring the flow back to the manifold. Be sure to close the sample nozzle before opening the ball valves. Now let's take a closer look at the controller and test the relays. Each controller can be different, so be sure to watch the controller videos that we have on our ChemsearchFE YouTube page. Relay 1 is usually the bleed for the tower. Once activated, if it is accessible, you can check that the solenoid opens and the tower starts to bleed. Go through each relay and ensure that each is working properly and the pumps are functioning. If you have more questions or concerns on chemical pumps, you can check out the video library on the ChemsearchFE YouTube page. Now you may have noticed that there was an alarm on this tower. If you select the alarm icon, you will see what the issue is. This particular alarm was for high conductivity. This was due to the tower not running when the rep arrived since it was a cool morning. When there is no flow in the manifold, the controller will not initiate the relays. The tower turned on shortly after the rep arrived and the alarm will correct itself shortly. Always do your testing on site for the makeup water and system water so you can make any needed adjustments before leaving. Remember to always triple rinse before each test to eliminate any contaminants in your testing. Record all of your results in SmartFSR and put any notes and system photos. It's also a good idea to take a picture of the controller for a timestamp to verify that you were there. Be sure that the date and time are correct on the controller when taking the timestamp picture. Always check in with your QB to communicate the current condition of the system, address any concerns, get a signature from them, and show them anything new or a seasonal add-on product. Before leaving, be sure to check all chemical levels and one last look to make sure all valves are open and no other issues. Thank you for watching this H2O Solutions instructional video. Be sure to check out the full video library on the ChemsearchFE YouTube page.